Should I fucking do the intro? My fucking god.
Yeah, fucking intro.
What's up, my dudes? Welcome to the podcast, and here I am, the radio guy, as usual. I don't have anything to say. Just roll the logo and the music. Cue that in. Today we have two amazing mother-loving dudes. Let's start by. Yes.
Hi, I'm Sid. I'm 14. It is my birthday last month. I'm here on this podcast because Kudrat asked me to be.
I like trains.
And photography.
Nice. My name is Ishaan, and Ishaan means Ishaan. And I have a dream. Said I have a dream. And that dream is to be epic at video games and music.
Noise.
I just lost my shit. Okay, let's go. Kudrat, wait.
Yes.
Who are you?
Holy. Okay, so today we are gonna talk about a lot of shit, obviously, but we are playing the legendary, the most cringiest, the most amazingest game ever.
The one that everybody hates because they're public
Yes.
opinion following swines.
Okay, I'm ready, but it's asking launch or create. I'm going to team two. I'm team two.
3. I'm team 3.
I'm team two. I'm
I'm
team two.
1. I'm team 1.
I'm team two. So when we first time recorded, me and Ishaan, we didn't like it. So we second time recorded it, and it was epic. But Ishaan forgot to save.
Listen, alright. Listen.
And a lot of normal people watch my podcast. So they often ask me, how is life as an unschooler?
It's actually quite simple. It's just, I personally, for me, I just learn from what I've experienced. That be anything like in real life or in video games. So basically, for me, it's just learning from life and the experiences it gives, and
Deep.
it's not really too much. Varna, otherwise, though, I've learned a lot from video games and a lot from so basically I am really good at climbing mountains apparently. And so
Nice.
I've learned that not from real life but from a video game. So basically for me it's I'm not necessarily against any other type of learning. I have my way of it. So people can learn how they want, and because there are some people who just you should learn this way and you should do that. Oh shit, I'm going to die. No, never mind. So basically, it's not too much. I've said that multiple times now.
It's like a normal life.
Basically, just normal life without being in a building for half the day. I'm not against that. It's just like that. I'm not
Spitting
saying.
facts.
So when I talk, I'm not saying school is bad for people who want to think that. School is great too for some aspects, because there are some people who are against school in this community of unschoolers.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I really don't want to be that kind of person. I try to talk in as many positive ways as possible, because not to shut down anything, because
Yeah,
everything's
that's good.
okay. It doesn't have to be bad, because nothing needs to be judged basically.
Anyway, so for me, first things first, I've been an unschooler my whole life, right?
Nice.
And my view on unschooling is similar to Sid, it's pretty normal. To others, yes, it'll be strange as they don't know about.
Haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah, not experienced. And similar to Sid, I've learned many things from video games, like how to read English. I learned
yeah.
from Pokemon
Crazy.
Black, to be specific. Because before I played the game, I had no idea how to read. But then, because I had to read in the game, I decided, all right, why not?
Crazy.
But I learned through the game. No, I didn't sit down with pen and paper and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is a good point to transition from being an unschooler to learning processes.
I guess.
Sid and Ishaan, you both were talking about learning from video games, right? So if you can elaborate the whole process, how do you learn and how is it possible? Because a lot of people ask that what do you learn from gaming and why gaming, right? So
Yeah.
generally I answer them like, you don't have to learn stuff, you can just have fun, but people want, like parents
Answers.
want
Answers.
productivity.
Yeah.
If,
Answers and reasons.
yeah, reasons. I mean, it's okay if they use WhatsApp for stupid shit. But yeah, I get the hypocrisy and they're insecure. I get all that. So just share your perspectives, like learning through gaming, and yeah.
To me, it's pretty much how you use gaming. Like, see, I use it for fun, as a profession, and to learn new things when I get the opportunity to learn it from a video game,
Hmm.
right? Like, I learned about many like different types of woods, stones, minerals and stuff from Minecraft. And like I said, I learned how to read English from Pokemon Black. Like I knew the alphabets and whatnot, the English alphabet before, but I didn't know how to read or write. And also, it
Awesome.
matters on like what type of person you are when it comes to learning through video games as well. Like how you learn. Like not every person can learn in the same way, right?
Hmm.
There's some people who are good at learning, like, sitting down, pen and paper, and studying for hours. And there are some people like me who can't do that because we just give up then. Like, some like
Hmm.
people like me need to experience it in like a almost like real life fashion, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
One
Go.
second, I forgot the topic.
Oh,
Topic is like learning through gaming.
It's actually quite simple because there are people who can't. It's like really similar to Ishan. There are people who learn differently. There are some people
Hmm.
who just learn like that, like in an instant, and I am kind of one of those people. So
Nice flex.
I for me, gaming has taught me a lot because it's taught me like a lot of valuable life skills other than my mom.
Hmm.
Like just like Sean, I've learned a lot of things about like materials and how things work in real life. It's the same thing pretty much, but I do have my own twist to it. I learned how to climb a mountain from Minecraft.
How did you
Okay, that's
exactly
old.
do that?
That's old now. I'll tell you how I did it.
Hmm.
You know how intuition works, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like that for me. Where like I've done so much. It's like my intuition knows what I'm gonna do next.
Oof.
Ah,
This is really hard to
yeah.
explain.
No,
It's
but
an
Yeah,
I
no, I
get
get
you.
it.
I get
it's
you.
an unexplainable feeling because there's just some things you know, and there's some things that you need to learn as well.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like I guess you could put it as for your mountain climbing thing as
Yeah,
like muscle memory.
muscle memory.
Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Okay.
my topic, because I was in a call with you before, Kudrat, we were talking about this. I had mentioned
Hmm.
the topic where there are people who are like screen time is bad and it should be limited. Uh, to that I say no. There are people who say like screen time is bad and children can't learn through screen
Screen
time
time. What do you
because
mean by screen time?
like on the device
Oh, like too much on the phone, right?
with the screen, like on a laptop too
Hmm.
much or a phone too much, because teenagers nowadays they spend all the time on their phones,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I got it.
which which I have to say isn't exactly bad, because
Hmm.
considering the circumstances nowadays, nobody has any friends other than online friends, because
Hmm.
we've been on the phone. Okay, then I have to say phone is a little bad, like little bad, because we have the courage to go out and socialize with actual people, because we're
Hmm.
way too immersed in the online world. So
Hmm.
that's all. My topic was like children learning stuff through screen time, like we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Like I like me and Ishan, we learned stuff through video games. So what if
Hmm.
children can learn through screen time? Like they're watching YouTube nowadays so much.
Hmm.
So why don't?
Yeah.
But it's also not just about this learning through screen time. It's about parents nowadays. They're barely interactive with their children because they're always so busy.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
and they don't, because that's why the children are always stuck on their phone, because they don't have a parent to talk to about all the
Hmm.
stuff they may have learned. So maybe like just if parents, I just have one request for the parents, if they could just take out like
Hmm.
half an hour of the day in their busy day to just acknowledge the child and listen to what they have to tell them. Instead of like, okay, go back on your iPad, and then I'm gonna scold you for being on your iPad too much because I'm not a good parent.
Hmm.
So basically, like, it's just interact with your child, because if you don't interact with them, that's the key thing, the interaction. Because
Yeah.
parents don't interact with their children, then blame it on screen time,
Hmm.
and that's
Yeah.
kind of
true.
messed up.
Yeah. I have something to add to this
Yeah.
also. And like,
Go for it.
yeah, so let's say you go out as a parent to interact with your child, right?
Yes.
But then the way they do things and like to interact, you don't like, and you know lecture them like, you know what I don't know what to say, but you know
So
what
can
I
I
mean,
just
right?
say
Yeah, I
something on
get
that?
it.
Yeah, I have exactly the words for that. So, when that situation happens and the child is
Hmm.
explaining to their parent in a specific way that's good for the child, the parent, no offense for some triggered people, but you're f***ing
Go
slow.
for it.
That's why you don't get the child. So maybe, like, understand in a way where you don't lecture the child for being fast and speaking their mind out faster than yours. It's faster than you can understand. So try and understand the child as much as you can, and then ask them to, like, if you didn't understand, say the stuff again, because they'll be even more happy telling you. Like, this is for younger children because they love telling you stuff.
Yes.
Yes, so basically, like, as a parent, I think not just interaction, it's just how fast your child is, because nowadays kids are learning so fast that so that adults can't even keep up with them. That's
Yeah.
why a lot
Mm.
of kids get lectured on screen time and how they're way too much on the iPad, because they're so fast they don't have time to sit down and read a book because that's
Hmm.
too slow.
Yeah,
Thank God people in thank
unless you're a sweat at reading a book. Like I know two people who are sweats at reading books.
Yes,
This
there are people
person
who
I'm talking about read The Lord of the Rings in 4 days.
What do you mean is everyone has a pace, right? And everyone can't learn from the books.
no.
Like it's kind of expected from
No,
the
it's not
old parents that.
expected. It's just it was expected, and now it's been expected. Yeah, it's expected, but now that it's being portrayed as if it wasn't expected, and it's a huge surprise that children aren't being as slow as the adults because the children are
Hmm.
fast as heck.
Also, another thing, this whole thing about you don't learn stuff from screen time. In the recent events of the past year have been flipped upside down. Online learning and shit, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh my god, yes. The irony.
What I hate about the whole thing is like, sorry, this is like off topic, but they are okay for you to go on a screen time for 5 hours in a lecture, but they are not okay with playing 1 hour of video game. Like that's like
Yeah.
it's
You see,
like
that's where education comes in. People are so
ah
hell bent on children's education that they don't even
hmm,
give a heck about the child's interests and
Mm.
ah
hobbies. That's
hmm,
how this has happened.
Yeah, that was actually my main thing that I was talking about, but then Sid turned it into how fast learning and stuff.
yes yes
Hmm.
Yeah. So what I was originally going to say before Sid added
hmm,
something to my thing was that like don't like so you go and go to spend time with your child, right?
hmm,
Don't like then don't go and say like, oh, your hobbies aren't good for your health. How will you make money?
hmm,
Useless. You know that stuff. Okay. Like just try for some time to
hmm,
go with their hobby. See what it's like, you know. Let them
hmm.
do it and try to spend time with them that way because you got to compromise, all right?
But why is it so hard for them? Like, what do you think is hard? Like, what is stopping them for doing that?
I don't know. I guess they're like, "Oh, I'm an adult, you're a kid. You got to listen to
Hmm.
me." But yeah.
I'm going to die. I died.
Where are you guys?
So this is a really big issue in India, not anywhere else, just India.
Hmm.
And a lot of Asia.
You do not get the A plus in your exam. You're not going to be the doctor. You bring the big shame to your family. You're not the big shame man. The big shame, I slap you.
I'm sorry, why is
Alright,
that so funny?
Ah,
in
shit.
advance, I'm sorry to Chinese people in case anyone's watching this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we've had this, we all think we all know about what happened a couple of days ago.
Sushant.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, he seemed fine. That's what's going on with a lot of children. They seem fine
Hmm.
because it's not for Shashank. It's just for people in general. They're so okay with people being happy and smiling that they don't
Hmm.
care about how they're actually feeling because
Hmm.
they don't care enough to ask.
Yeah. And then
So,
like another thing I want to add to this is like the whole thing of like I've heard times where the people do go ahead and say that, oh, I'm not, depressed or whatever, I'm depressed or whatnot, and then like there's the whole thing like in India especially, like the whole thing of shame,
man
Hmm.
you
up.
know. Yeah, like feeling the shame, like people will shame you almost if you do say that,
Hmm.
oh, I'm depressed and I'm not happy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard stories of this stuff, and it's really messed up.
Hmm. It is.
There are some people who are still right now arguing about Sushant because they're arguing because he didn't talk about it, and then they're also arguing why he did it. I think
Hmm.
honestly, I don't want to dabble into why he did that. I'd rather not. But for now,
Hmm.
it's just about mental health and how nobody cares about it anymore, especially in India.
Yeah. Because like let's say if he did go ahead and say right, like I said just now, like, oh, I'm
Hmm.
depressed. There'll be the whole thing of,
He's
being
faking it and blah blah blah.
yeah, and like feeling shamed.
Hmm.
He might be shamed by his family, his fans, haters.
Oh, his fans a lot, yes. Yeah, I
People
know.
have this stupid thing that stars and they are influencers. They are supposed to be okay and they're supposed to make us feel good, right? So that pressure is also there that I'm such a big star. I have a responsibility to make other people happy. So maybe
Yeah,
that is one of the biggest things. Like in Indian cinema too, like a lot of there's no space for authenticity, right?
yeah.
This
So
is just a bunch of fake
us,
people.
yeah. So now does being an unschooler kind of helps your mental health, and does it help really? Like, do you want to talk about that?
I'd love to, because
Yeah, go for it.
it's a really serious topic. Oh my god, my cat just came and sat in my lap.
इतना
Go
मेहनत
back.
किया यार. Sorry, I'm distracting. Let's go.
I think being an unschooler or being in the school, I don't think that really changes your mental health. It depends on
Nope.
how your life is. That changes your mental health. I mean, school is a small part of that as well because of peer pressure.
I think
Yeah.
school is बहुत बड़ा part. I mean, at least in India, US में भी, US में भी,
US
US में
सब
भी
जगह है
ऐसा नहीं
ऐसे.
है.
सब जगह है.
Like I get calls from schoolers saying that please talk to my parents, get me out of this mess. And
See,
it's so sad that I can help them, but it's all up to their parents to give the child the freedom.
so I just wanted to say, school does affect mental health, and not being in school also affects mental health. So it's not a win-win, because if you're not in school, because for some people they don't have friends outside of school, so they feel lonely and they don't know what to do because
Yeah.
they feel lonely, and that's why they do speak about it. But then there are bullies as well. That's what's sad about it. There are bullies who, we just see bullies as really mean people and they just want to kill us because for fun, but we never talk about the fact that what if the bully's mental health, we never talk about the bully's mental health, why they're bullying people.
Yeah.
That's why people bully each other, because they don't have such a good life at home. That's it's affecting them. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter whether it's school or not school. It's about what happens in your life. That's what affects your mental health.
What is a good environment for you? Like you talked about environment, right? It requires a
Yeah.
really good environment. What is a good environment for you? And does unschooling provide you that environment?
Okay. From my point, the environment. So for me, I like a open-minded environment, right? And yeah, like some people will think, oh yeah, it's unschooling, right? Everyone's open-minded, but there are those families that aren't open-minded. So same with schooling families. There are those families that are open to things, and then there are those that like shun everything that's not normal. I could say. I don't know. I'm sure you get what I mean. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I
F.
killed Ishaan. I killed Ishaan. Oh, answer me honestly. Does unschooling provide you that environment?
yes.
That completely depends on your personality, but
Yeah.
maybe it is because they were shunned by their family for being an unschooler, like their relatives, even though they have a good environment,
Yes.
because there are other people involved.
I'm not blaming the society, but I think sometimes I have a feeling that the society is not for ready for unschoolers yet,
No,
No,
it
it's
is
not.
not.
because there's no space like that, right?
Not yet,
And
at least.
yeah, and I think they are ready, and they are not. It's a mixed feeling. Like sometimes I feel like not included, but other times I feel super included. It's a very complex thing. We can maybe in the second podcast we can get you both here again, and we can talk
Mm.
about that specifically. I wanted to talk about that since Sid bring that up. Why the children behaves like that, right?
It's
Yeah.
Or why is he like that? Not behaves. Behave is a very parenty and a very boomery word.
no,
Sorry. Why the kid is like that?
because of the
Like
background, because how their parents treat them, because how their relatives treat them.
toxic relatives.
Like you said in your video, toxic shit parents say slash do.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for the toxic shit kids say slash do.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
that's the thing. Because not it's not always the parents.
yeah, but I was thinking about that. I was just thinking about that, and I just realized that why does the kid actually be that toxic? If you do a background check, it is somewhat related to the environment and the family.
Yeah.
So, in the end, I'm not saying it is their fault, but it was meant to happen,
Hmm.
right? So that's why I couldn't make that video. Toxic shit kids say, because I just realized that it is the environment's thing. Like it's not the kids doing, because kid, I mean, it's not like that. अरे मुझे
Exactly.
मार दिया यार, मेरे चीजें तो लेने दो. Dude, what the? Who are these people? Top.
Kudrat is salty.
What the shit? Okay, yeah. To the parents, like, now I want to ask you both, like, what will make a child's life much better? Like, parents को क्या करना चाहिए? Let's give them parental advice. Raghu also did. You also give.
But
So, yeah.
we do the discussion, we must get into our fancy civil voices. Yes, yes.
Yes, must.
Parents. We were at the parents. Like
Yes.
how
Memes.
they can be toxic unknowingly.
Parents being toxic. Unknowingly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's quite common.
First, yeah, everywhere. Like, first things first is the fact that they think because, like, I'm the parent, I'm right. So what I say is right and not toxic. You know?
Respect your elders, and you cannot talk back.
Yeah.
So
Respect.
basically, parents who are like, I'm right because I'm older, are like, okay, so you better not talk. You better listen to whatever I say, and you better obey me.
I have a
Yeah.
theory for that. Technically, your parents became parents when you were born, right? Right? So technically, they are also, as a parent, they are also a 14-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I know I'm not making that much of sense, but I
No,
am.
yeah, I understand what you
are.
mean.
In terms of practical experiences in parenthood, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
You're also
exactly.
14, your kid is also 14. You're learning together. So why not maybe learn together and have fun together rather than just saying मुझे सब पता है मैं भगवान हूँ तू टट्टी है तू निकल इधर से. Like,
Yeah. And one thing on
Something-
this, that I'm grateful that my parents have always given me an environment, like you were saying, to
Yes.
speak back.
yeah, obviously that is crazy. Like I'm also grateful for that. I
Me
can
too,
say
man.
that parents are stupid. I'm grateful for my parents that they gave me a space where I can question parents and I can question myself and I can question everything and I can at the same time I cannot question anything. You get what I mean?
I get it. No,
Yeah,
there's like
please
some
continue.
things where you might want to listen to your parents, but there's some things where you're like, okay, it's my decision to make. But in some cases, it's like, okay, until you're 21, I'm gonna decide your life.
That's
That's for
from
Yeah.
them.
some parents.
A lot of pair, lot of them.
Main
Ishan,
point, I think,
hmm.
main point we have found here is have an open mind, right?
Listen to your
Yeah, I mean,
kids. Sometimes they're
yes.
smarter than you.
More often
Yeah,
than not.
Yes.
I mean, listen to your kids, trust them, have fun with them, do like live life with them, like not, don't just
Interact with them.
dominate.
Don't be
Yeah,
like,
I mean, yeah,
okay, go on the iPad, and I'm gonna scold you for being on the iPad too much because
yeah,
I'm not a good parent.
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's all about interaction and talking with the child and being there for them because iPad isn't always going to be there for them.
yes.
Yeah.